capos here for the evening who are going to lead us through the chant of the match. Boys, what's the chant of the match?
Chant of the match tonight is going to be let's get fired up, because that's what we got to do. It's hot, so we're going to get fired up. Ready? Let's get fired up. Let's get fired up. Let's get fired up. Let's get fired up. Let's get fired up.
All right, it's time to beat Phoenix. We're here at the lab. We're going home with 3 points. Let's get it. Somos Unidos.
Midweek rivalry action here at the Lab tonight as Phoenix Rising in town to take on New Mexico United. Welcome in, everybody. My name's Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst. This is our Spanish play-by-play, Manny Esquivel. Manny, how are things going tonight?
Good, Tyler. Thank you very much. Hoy nos volvemos a ver la cara contra Phoenix en un clásico, en un juego intenso, el cual usted no se puede perder.
Thanks, Manny. Now, Chris, this is the second time these two clubs have played each other. It's been about 2 months, but as of late, the two sides really struggling to find form.
Yeah, both teams not exactly where they want to be, probably. Both teams coming into tonight on the back of 2-2 ties. Probably both feeling a little disappointed. New Mexico United give away a late equalizer to RGV. Phoenix Rising managed to pull themselves ahead against Lou City, 2-2. Have a chance to go 3-2 up with a PK, unfortunately saved, so they'll be disappointed with that as well.
So both of them looking to get back on the winning side of things. Let's dive further into it tonight now with our players to watch, brought to you by the Somos Unidos Foundation. Manny, start us off with Phoenix Rising forward Manuel Arteaga.
Así es, vamos a comenzar con este jugador, la bomba Arteaga, mi tocayo, quien no solamente es un jugador potente al frente, 7 goles esta temporada, apenas acaba de anotar gol en contra del Novio, y es un jugador importante tener la atención de él en la defensa, pero también hablemos de New Mexico United y es justamente nuestro guardameta, nuestro portero, el número 1, quien no solamente ha sido uno de los mejores jugadores esta temporada y la temporada anterior, porque por partido por lo menos en 3 intervenciones es fundamental en nuestro sistema de juego y hablamos justamente de Alex Zambacas. Go back to you, Ted.
Thank you, Manny. Now, the 2023 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary. We'll be back on the other side of this with lineups and kickoff.
Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for war, man, forget my peace. You take the west, I'll take on the east.
I landed my first trick at age 11. It's always been a family thing. Just the 3 of us, out skating the city. Albuquerque has heart. It lifted me up, all the way to my dream of skating in the Olympics.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Back here at the Lab, Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst, kickoff just moments away between New Mexico United and Phoenix Rising FC. Tonight's match is brought to you by the New Mexico Lottery, raising $1 billion for New Mexico education. Chris, let's have a look here at the starting 11 brought to you by Bud Light. Starting off first with the black and yellow here, we see 3 changes from the side on the weekend that drew with RGV.
Yeah, Josh Suggs, Will Seymour and Armando Moreno joining the lineup after a quick turnaround, but the same quick turnaround that it is for Phoenix Rising as well. But interesting to see Moreno. I think he's been chomping at the bit to get a starting spot, and he'll be eager to impress early on here.
And speaking of Phoenix Rising, this is how Juan Guerra is rolling out his side here tonight. Arteaga, Danny Trejo up top. We're going to see a midfield of Armanacas, Manjoma, Carlos Harvey, who scored his last time here at the lab nearly 2 months ago. And this, a change in goal. It is Patrick Rakovsky getting the start here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see. I managed to, after our game on Saturday there, Tyler raced home, caught the last 30 minutes of the Phoenix Rising game against Lou City, and I was really impressed. Really impressed that last 30 minutes, getting to watch it, in real time rather than watching it back in highlights. And they look really, really exciting going forward. Maybe missing that final piece kind of thing, but it was a little bit worrying if you were a New Mexico United fan to see how athletic and how powerful and how dangerous their attacking players can be.
Greg Hurst gets us underway, the former Phoenix Rising man. It's New Mexico in their home black kits and Phoenix Rising in their road whites. Week 16 here in the USL Championship is we're starting, Chris, to see the playoff picture shaping up more and more as each week goes by. New Mexico currently sitting outside that picture at 10th in the Western Conference. Phoenix come in on the threshold in 8th place, sitting on 18 points.
Yeah, and it's getting to that point of the season where obviously there's still lots of games to go. That's a really, really early yellow card there, but lots of games to go. However, there is a little group that's kind of breaking away at the top there.
Early yellow card just 38 seconds into this one. Sam Hamilton, the New Mexico captain, goes into the book. And so that yellow card brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. And down on the pitch for Phoenix Rising, that's Jose Hernandez, the Mexican midfielder, as he's being looked at by the trainer. And if you recall, Chris, the last time these two sides met, as we keep alluding to it, it was back in the Open Cup back in late April. And it was a match that was not short on anything like this. We did see a red card doled out prior to halftime. There was 8 yellow cards in that match. So this picking up right where things left off.
I mean, it's a rivalry for a reason, right? And I think obviously the players recognize that as well. And well, Sam Hamilton, I'm not sure it was necessarily, anything malicious. He was definitely, one of those tackles that everyone talks about back in England, where you let them know you're there nice and early. And unfortunately, picked up a yellow card. So Sam Hamilton has to tread very lightly for the rest of this game now.
So it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out here for New Mexico, is tracking down the long ball here. That's Danny Trejo, and unable to get to that. And so Alex Tambakis made his 75th appearance in the last match for New Mexico United. Good in all competitions. Tonight, actually, his 75th league appearance. So racking up the time here in black and yellow, and Tambakis just 1 clean sheet on the season.
Yeah, and that clean sheet was all the way back on the opening day for New Mexico United, which wasn't opening day for the season. Obviously, New Mexico United had that weird schedule with 2 byes in the first 3 weeks. But their first game against the Miami FC, and that was the last time they were able to keep a clean sheet. But from what we've heard about Eric Quill, I'm not sure he'll be looking at maybe keeping the clean sheet. He'll be looking more of outscoring the opponents.
Swartz writhing around in pain on the ground. So we've got a moment. Let's have a look at our keys to the game here, brought to you by Garcia Automotive Group here for New Mexico. Keep the ball, carry possession through the middle, and finish halves strong. Let's just have a look at our injury report while we've got a moment as well, brought to you by Ben Sherman Law. Injured at work, Ben Sherman can help. And Chris, an addition to this injury report from the weekend, Austin Yearwood also not dressing tonight.
Yeah, and we saw that towards the end of the game. We were hoping that maybe it was just a little bit of cramp, and hopefully that is the case. Hopefully it's nothing too sinister, and it's maybe just rotation. Obviously, you have someone very, very experienced to step in there in Josh Suggs in a similar position. and we hope that that's all it is maybe just fresh legs for the weekend and a bit of squad rotation.
So the first Bank of America corner kick coming up here is Will Seymour heads that one out. With over 4,600 locations, convenient banking is just around the corner. So welcome into everyone joining us, whether you're joining us here on ESPN Plus, whether you're watching around New Mexico on Estrella TV, or if you're watching out in the valley, welcome into Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's a warm night here as Phoenix sending the first corner in, asking for a handball. No call from the official. They play it all the way back to Uzo. Now looking for Harvey. Carlos Harvey able to turn the corner, and he goes down, and it is just outside the box. And so New Mexico playing dangerously here early on, Chris.
I tell you what, I'm guessing they didn't watch the tape from Saturday night, allowing Harvey to get free at the back post. Scored fourth minute, I believe it was, against Lou City. Really, really similar the way it was done there, where a little pick play, so he gets himself a little bit of space at the back post there. Ball played deep, and he had a free header, and probably maybe thinks, especially with how he finished the one on Saturday, that he could have done a little better with it.
Fiesta Auto free kick. This is Panos Armanakis, 24-year-old out of Sydney, Australia. Plays it short. Gallardo, and that one's blocked. Looked like Kalen Ryden was able to stick a boot out all the way back to Patrick Rakovsky. So interesting to see that Rocco Rios Novo not in goal here tonight for Phoenix Rising. He is among the league leaders when it comes to saves. Ball played out to the far side, and that's going to give us time for this 5:29 game update brought to you by the Education Plan, New Mexico's state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. Crutzen connects with Trejo. Chris, you talk about the penalty that was saved late in that Lou City match for Phoenix. It was Danny Trejo actually that stepped up to take it. That was after Arteaga had already converted from the spot just minutes before, as this cross goes in and it's dealt with by Will Seymour. Looks like the offside flag was up anyway.
Yeah, going back to that PK, it was really interesting watching that in real time where, like you said, Arteaga had stepped up to take the PK at first, and you saw the Lou City goalkeeper pointing, basically a little bit of gamesmanship, saying that I know where you're going to put it, and talked him out of it, and then Trejo puts it in that same corner, and Lou City keeper manages to save it.
This is our Coaches Spotlight, brought to you by PNM. That's Eric Quill, in charge of the black and yellow here for just the second time tonight. Chris, he was announced as the new gaffer just 8 days ago. And you talk about baptism by fire, starting off with a run of 3 home matches in 7 days.
Yeah, but I mean, at least as a new coach, he's gonna find out a lot about his players. With so many games coming so quickly, obviously as a coach, you probably would like a little bit more time on the training pitch. But in terms of getting to know your guys and getting to know how they deal with some adversity, I think he'll learn a lot in this first week.
That was the former Phoenix Rising man, Santi Moar, looking to pick out the run of the El Salvadorian Amando Moreno. So Rakovsky steps out to grab that one. Suggs comes in, able to get a tip to it, but goes back to Harvey, and Phoenix looking to build out of the back. This is Manjoma, and it's out for a New Mexico throw. Moreno able to work his way by Manjoma. Play on, says the official. Here's Hurst. He's got Moar cutting. The 2 former Rising players connecting here. Here's Rivas. And Sergio Rivas unable to control the first touch.
That was a chance. That was a chance. Lovely little ball, and it was just rolled into the space. And obviously it was behind Rivas, but that was the only place Moore could really put it, where he could get to it. He just couldn't bring it under his spell and turn and get a shot away. Just got away from him. I think Rivas, with the form he's been on early on in the season here, I think he'll be disappointed with that one.
Again, the foul, that was Gallardo going down. It's our official Ricardo Fierro. He's now going to have a word with Justin Portillo. Portillo scored on the weekend against RGV with an absolute laser of a free kick. It was nominated for Goal of the Week. To the 10th minute we are, and it's time to let you know that Amore Neapolitan Pizzeria says thank you for 10 amazing years as New Mexico's first and only certified pizzerias. Crutzen goes back to Rakovsky. It's the 26-year-old out of the Netherlands. Harvey. This ball goes in. Arteaga and Trejo both went for it at the same time. Just a bit of a miscommunication there between the two. The offside flag was up anyway. That's going to give us time to share the second half of our P&M Coaches Spotlight. That's Juan Guerra. Now in his first full season at the helm of Phoenix Rising. He did join them mid-season from Oakland Roots last year, the former Venezuelan national team player. No stranger to coaching here at the lab against New Mexico. Suggs looks to play this forward. Connects with his fellow New Mexican, Sergio Rivas. Still Rivas. Swartz now. And you can see, Chris, just Sergio Rivas playing with just a sense of freedom, it seems like.
I was going to say that was the word. If you couldn't find it, I was going to dive in and save you there and just shout freedom at you. But yeah, you can just see those little one-touch interchanges, combinations. You can see he's just playing with this, like I said, freedom, this style that Coach Quill has already brought to the team. It really suits him because he's allowed to basically do what he wants almost. Yeah, he can float around anywhere in midfield, find the ball and just connect the game as much as he wants. And lovely little nutmeg in midfield earlier.
Portillo fouled there. TLC brings our replays tonight. They're the leader in New Mexico when it comes to plumbing, heating, and cooling home and business service needs. Off the set piece here, and that was Rivas, as he was unable to redirect that. He's adamant that he didn't actually get a touch, as are numerous New Mexico United players. All the arguing for naught as Rakovsky gets us started once again. Throwing coming up here for Suggs, and Josh Suggs approaching a huge milestone here tonight, actually, Chris, and this was something that we were talking about earlier today. Suggs, if he makes it out to the 54th minute tonight, then that's going to put him at the 20,000 minute mark in his career. He will be just the second player ever to hit that mark.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's a testament to how well he takes care of himself as well, because in the positions that he plays, you know, out wide, he's expected to cover a lot of ground as well, and he does it, and you know, knocking on as much wood as possible here that he's managed to avoid any kind of injuries so far this season. And he's he's again, a shame to see Yearwood on the injury report pre-game there, but someone like Josh Suggs being able to step into the field there, and you can see him, he's just inside. This is another Eric Quill little change where the outside backs come inside and create the width and drag defenders inside, so allowing Santi Moore and Armando Moreno a little more space maybe out wide.
And we saw Suggs come in as a late sub on the weekend against RGV. And despite only playing about 10 minutes, he was able to put in 2 crosses. And just for context, the leader that night for New Mexico United was Portillo with 3 crosses. And so that tells you exactly what Josh Suggs brings while he's on the pitch. Here's Carlos Harvick, this one down.
You can say, sorry, that's something from Phoenix Rising as well. You know, Harvey is one of the deep-lying midfield players. You know, he kind of holds things together in the middle of the park there. Big body as well, but he's given license to get forward. Already had a sighter from a set play. That's him breaking from deep from midfield. So hard to track those runs as well, and he's sitting on 3 goals already so far this season.
Here's Sam Hamilton getting forward. Portillo with a first touch that goes awry there, straight to Patrick Rakowski. Rakowski was the goalkeeper in Phoenix Rising's 2-1 defeat here at the Lab just about 2 months ago. 92 degrees here in Albuquerque, Chris, is I'm sure those that are watching back in the Valley, back in Arizona, are scoffing at 92 right now, but it's pretty warm out here.
It is, it's hot. And we were talking to one of the Phoenix Rising's coaches before the game. Obviously we know him, and asking her, I made the joke, you know, that this is probably pretty cool for you, but we're dying. And he even said out on the field, he's like, it's hot. It really is, like the intensity of the heat because of the altitude here as well. He said even they could tell that it was a warm one, but summer has definitely turned up in the Duke City.
Summer is here, and that altitude you speak about, the Lab sits at just about a mile up in elevation. So if there's anyone out there that wasn't aware of that, just know that when you come to Albuquerque, it's the exact same as going to play against the Broncos in Denver or Switchbacks up in Springs.
Yeah, and it does, and especially towards the end of the halves, you'll see that it does affect, and it's not just in terms of tightness in the legs, but it's poor decisions as well. You know, like all the blood rushes to your legs to try and just keep them moving, and maybe your brain's not capable of making it as quick decisions. You know, so you'll see some of those mistakes popping up towards the end of the half from both teams.
A ball that deflects off the face of Greg Hurst, and the Scotsman looks to be okay there. It looks like he and Moreno actually ended up making the same run. Couldn't tell exactly what happened. I think it might have come off Moreno's foot and deflected back to Hurst.
I think it was just Hurst tried to pluck it out of the air, and his touch was a little too good, to be honest. It was the header there. It was the defender there. And Manjuma, I think it is there, and he just put straight into his face. So I'm sure he'll be all right, but he's maybe some watery eyes for the next couple of minutes.
Manjoma, he was a halftime sub the last time these two teams met here at the Lab. Picked up a yellow card as well in the 86th minute. Seymour getting the start here tonight, Chris. He was an 89th minute sub on the weekend against RGV after missing the last few matches through injury.
Yeah, and lose one game one for New Mexico United with Yearwood dropping onto the injured list and getting Seymour off it, which I know it's a great boost to have him because he's a huge presence at the back there, and he had a great season last season for the Black and Yellow.
Seymour last season, 31 appearances, 27 of those starts. He did score 1 goal. That was against New York Red Bulls 2. In fact, it was a 90th minute winner. Saw the Black and Yellow win that match 2-1 last July. He also led the club with 56 interceptions. This ball picked out by Suggs. New Mexico looked to break. Here's Santi Moar. Scored 12 goals for New Mexico in 2019. Moar plays the cross in. It's sent away by Fuenmayor. So Bank of America corner kick coming up here. So almost 20 minutes in, Chris. What have you seen so far?
It's interesting. It's taken a little while, if I'm being honest, to really work out what, it's a little different what Coach Quill and New Mexico United staff have done. It's like, especially defensively, New Mexico United defending out of a 4-4-2, and it's really, as soon as they spring and attack, it's really Rivas is you would think Rivas is a centre mid, but he's really getting up alongside Greg Hurst.
This one falls to Moreno, back post. El Salvadorian has his shot blocked.
Yeah, and you see defensively, and especially when they first win the ball, New Mexico United out of a 4-4-2, and it's just interesting seeing Rivas is the one that has been picked to be almost a partner with Greg Hurst, or he appears to be the one that maybe has license to do that. You know, and the Reno right now is really high, and when they're building, when New Mexico United are building in possession, it's more of a 4-3-3, but defensively and in transition, it's more of that 4-4-2.
Looks like Josh Suggs going down after that tug there from Danny Trejo. Is the trainer being called on?
So, you can normally tell by like players' reactions and his teammates' reaction. That looks a little concerning for Josh Suggs.
Suggs just having a word there with Carlos Olivas. He's the director of sports medicine for the club. And you know Suggs, he's one of the toughest competitors that you will ever meet. You know, there was actually a story unrelated to this match, but regarding Josh Suggs on Father's Day this past weekend. There was a post that surfaced on social media. A New Mexico United supporter was out doing some grocery shopping on Father's Day, and the battery in his car died. And who else pulled up other than Josh Suggs? And so Josh Suggs helped him jumpstart his car. You know, was happy to stand around, chat, take some selfies. You know, all in all, just tells you what kind of person that Josh Suggs really is.
Oh, I mean, that's not surprising at all, is it? You know. And it's interesting when he just turned around there, though. You could see some kinesi tape, it looked like, on his left hamstring maybe, and that was maybe the leg that he was showing to be struggling a little bit. So after I was talking about how well he's done so far this season and keeping in shape, it looks like maybe his race is run.
Just looking over to the touchline, looks like Suggs may be done here. That's our fourth official, Mario Garcia. New Mexico not quite ready to make the change just yet. Suggs trots his way back out there. So it looks like he may try to continue on, as it looked like Milo Garvanyan was over at the touchline ready to check in.
Yeah, it does. It looks like Suggs is going to try and soldier on, and I say maybe he just felt a little twinge in his hamstring there. It looked like, but you know, no one is more experienced at listening to their body than Josh Suggs, I would say, especially not out on this pitch right now. So it looks like he's earned the right to give it a try. That's for sure.
Free kick coming up here. Manjoma having some words there with the official. So the set piece coming up. So it looks like Suggs' day might actually be done here, as we are going to see the change made. And so Josh Suggs will be replaced by fellow New Mexican and Albuquerque native Milo Garvanyan. And so for Josh Suggs, the 20,000 minute achievement will have to wait. He is subbed off here 24 minutes into tonight's contest. You can see just the look of disappointment there for the former captain. It's back to the action here. It was Kalen Ryden unable to redirect that one on frame, but that's a way to wake the crowd back up.
Yeah, kind of suck the life a little bit out of the crowd there, right? Of course, the injury happened right during the magic minute, which is normally a little spark for maybe something special to happen in the game. I know the players kind of feed off that noise, during the magic minute, and yeah, the injury unfortunately happened during there, so just kind of dampened the enthusiasm in the stadium.
Comes Phoenix looking to break the through ball, and Tambakis comes out to grab it. Arteaga and Trejo were both making a run. New Mexico, they pressed high, and Phoenix took advantage of that with a counter.
Yeah, it turned into a little bit of a track meet there. It was early on, and an early ball and just driving through the middle on Joma. And by the time he released the ball, it was really hard to get the right weight on that pass because they were so close to the top of the penalty box. And Tambakis, using all of his experience, and got off his line nice and quick and smothered the danger.
Manjoma, former FC Dallas man, appeared in 17 matches for FC Dallas last season. Ball goes across looking for Arteaga, and ultimately it's going to be a goal kick for Alex Tambakis. And that's going to give us time to tell you about Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Gwen Mayor, former Oakland Roots man. One of two players brought over by Juan Guerra. Trejo able to track this one down at the corner flag. Double teamed, and it's Moreno able to come away with possession. Swartz is fouled. That's about the third time that Swartz has been down here through the first 27 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was a foul either. It was a committed challenge there. I think it was Trejo. Yeah, it's, like I say, it was just a throw in, but Schwartz is always all action, right? So he ends up on the ground quite a bit, but just because of how committed he is and goes into tackles just as fiercely as Trejo did on that occasion.
Noir's got support on either side. Elects for Moreno. Moreno just unable to control his first touch, and you know that's a moment that he would like to have back.
Yeah, you see, he just took a little bobble just as he was trying to settle the ball, and there was so much pace on it, he had no chance to recover. And you see both teams just struggling to keep possession right now there. Phoenix just giving away the ball really cheaply as well. New Mexico United, especially in this position in midfield, have given away cheaply a little time. So both teams just need to settle down and get a little rhythm going here.
Barry Swartz making his 55th league appearance for New Mexico United here tonight. Scored a week and a half ago at Al Lang Stadium against Tampa Bay Rowdies. That was his second goal of the season. Scored 13 times for New Mexico in his 55 appearances in the league. Got some score updates there for you. In the top corner of your screen, Memphis putting up a 3-spot on Tulsa with about 20 minutes left in that one. Legion up 1-0 in their match. And RGV currently leading Switchbacks 1-0. Armanakis goes back to Crutzen. And Manjoma just unable to control it.
See New Mexico United just struggling to find a way to pick the lock here. Phoenix Rising doing such a good job of staying compact, not just from side to side, but vertically as well, where look at that, 2, 4, 6, 8 players within a 20 by 30 area there across the top of the box. Maybe based on the game against RGV for New Mexico United, they were playing a lot of 1-2 touches, especially in that area about 15 yards outside the 18-yard box, and They were able to create so many chances from that by drawing RGV into the middle, then popping the ball out wide. Phoenix Rising being so disciplined defensively right now, and New Mexico find it really hard to create anything.
Shot of the crowd here tonight is Wednesday night here at the Lab, and Black and Yellow faithful showing out as usual. And what is match number 2 of a 3-match stretch here at home in 1 week. Seymour loads one up and sends it over the crossbar.
That's one way to try and get a team that's, compact and sitting kind of deep and hard to break down. That's one way to try and get them to step out, is, start taking some shots from distance and make them fear that space a little further out. So then maybe they step out, create space for people to play through then.
Seymour, prior to his time here, spent some time in the Irish top flight. But as you mentioned, Chris, he's really settled in nicely here in New Mexico. Arteaga, and the flag goes up for offside. And Arteaga, really the talisman for this Phoenix Rising side, coming in with 7 goals and 14 appearances.
Yeah, 7 of their 18 goals, and I tell you what, that was a heck of a first touch. He just plucked the ball out of the air there as well. Just went a little bit early, but you can see Phoenix early on they were trying to play, and they were playing 1-2 touch and dominated the ball for the first 5-10 minutes or so. But then since then they've maybe shown that they're willing to go long and willing to play that space in behind, so really making New Mexico United worry about that space in behind them as well and defend the whole pitch.
Armenakis. He's going to look to go across for Trejo, and Trejo is through, and Trejo opens up the scoring for Rising here in the 31st minute. And what a big goal that was, as the Lab is deflated.
And there it is. Armenakis just coming in off the right-hand side, and he drifted out wide because he's been playing really at the point of the midfield 3. He drifted out wide, collected the ball, and just basically dribbles across the top of the 18-yard box. Picks out Trejo with a lovely way to pass. And Trejo just one touch to settle it and take the defender out of the game. Not sure if it was Harry Schwartz or Seymour, but just one touch means that the defender can't do anything about it. Commits Tambakis and just slots it in the bottom corner perfectly.
Goal number 5 on this season for Danny Trejo. You can see what a calm finish there.
It was all about that first touch. That first touch, and he takes an extra little touch as well there, but that first touch just makes it so hard for Schwartz to be able to defend, and it just sets it up perfectly, just slotted in that bottom corner, and Tambakis does everything he possibly can, makes himself nice and big. Just a really cool, composed finish there from Trejo.
And for Danny Trejo, what that does for his confidence, I'm sure it was probably pretty shaken coming off of that last match where he stepped up to take the penalty, had it saved. Now, just 30 minutes in, finds himself on the score sheet here on the road against one of your rivals, and it's game on now. Moreno plays the cross in, has that one cut out. Manjoma has a little bit more work to do. Armenakis, and here come Rising once again.
You can see how quickly the break as well. For a moment there, they were 4-on-4 again because of the numbers that New Mexico United get forward. But what we just saw there with Moreno getting in that wide area, that was what we saw a lot of against RGV. And wide areas, crosses into the box. It was death by a million crosses. And it worked for New Mexico United. They drew RGV in narrow and then popped the ball out wide. But they've really, really struggled. We just talked about it right before the Phoenix goal there. There's another cross as well, but no one on the end of it. But they do have numbers in and around the penalty spot in the 6-yard box in New Mexico. So you can see it's maybe give them a little wake-up call there.
You can see there just in that last spell of possession, Garvanyan and Mo are sort of occupying the same space. You can tell those two may not necessarily play a whole lot on the same side with each other. Garvanyan, a right back by trade. He's playing on the left side here tonight. Had a fantastic career at the University of North Carolina as a Tar Heel. 10 goals, 11 assists in 86 appearances. This is his 3rd appearance on the season here tonight. Arteaga triple teamed and loses possession. Fans, don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN Plus, the home to the USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Back to Alex Tambakis, our player to watch here tonight. 27 saves coming into this one. He has conceded 21 times, make that 22 now, following that goal from Danny Trejo. And as you mentioned earlier, Chris, just the one clean sheet on the season so far. It is a stat that will carry on until Saturday at least.
Yeah, and that, I mean, and that it's a thing as well, right? Like, if you know going into games, you're probably going to have to score 2 goals to win a game every single game. That's mentally, that's, you know, that wears on you a little bit. You know, Phoenix Rising, they've had a little run earlier on this season with just 1-goal games, and that's it obviously helps. You know, where you just need that one moment of quality.
Armenakis unleashes one from on top of the 18, and it just goes wide, but it had Alex Tambakis fully extended.
And you can tell, you know, earlier on with the injury, you said you can tell by players' reactions. You can tell by goalkeepers' reactions. Tambakis was not sure that was going wide. He was full extension.
Advantage played by the official. Here's Rivas now. Connects with Moreno. Moreno into the box, and Moreno forces a save from Rakowski. The 29-year-old German goalkeeper, Patrick Rakowski, able to keep Phoenix in the lead here.
And it looked like that had eyes for the bottom corner. Moreno's first touch was a little heavy, I'd say, but his second touch, where he manages to take the defender out of the game and then unleashes a vicious shot, and like I say, it just looks like just has eyes for the bottom corner, and the keeper just gets a hand to it and tips it around the post.
Bank of America corner kick goes in. Seymour rises up, and Seymour is going to be called for the foul. Glenn Mayor found himself on the ground, and be a free kick coming up here for the visitors. Free kick here going back the other way for New Mexico. Here's Swartz. Swartz looking for the through ball there for Greg Hurst, and goes all the way back to Rakowski. Greg Hurst scored the last time these two teams met. In fact, Greg Hurst has scored the last 3 times these two teams met. Twice for Phoenix and once for New Mexico. Darvagnan puts this cross in, a dangerous cross. Rakowski has to come in and punch it out. New Mexico still attacking. Swartz has that cross dealt with. It's going to be a throw in here for New Mexico.
Yeah, and that's more like it for a New Mexico United perspective there. Great goalkeeping. Had to come 7, 8, 9 yards off his line there to deal with it. But you see Greg Hurst, his eyes got nice and big when Garvanian just put that ball in there. It was a lovely cross as well. Just waiting for him to get contact, but really good goalkeeping.
Here's Swartz. Swartz tripped up. Moreno now. Here's Moar. Hamilton able to keep it alive, but taken back the other way by Hernandez. There's the captain, Sam Hamilton. Finds Swartz. Portillo now. Finds Rivas in a pocket of space. Finds Moore now. Santi Moore denied. What a save from Rakovsky, and Moore gets another chance, and he's asking for a foul with no call. But what an opportunity for the former Phoenix Rising man, Santi Moore.
I mean, he'll want that one back. That was an absolute glorious opportunity there. And, yeah, I mean, just put it either side of the goalkeeper, but he makes himself really big, really early. What a ball. What a ball by Sergio Rivas there. Has to take it early because of the defender, so maybe I give him a little bit of credit there. Maybe didn't quite have enough time to get it on the inside of his foot. Had to just try and hit it with his toe, basically, and take it early. But really, once again, last couple of minutes, it's come up big.
Santi Moore, 12 goals for New Mexico United in 2019 in all competitions. Followed that up with 20 goals for Phoenix Rising over the past 3 seasons. He's got 1 goal on the campaign so far this year for New Mexico. That coming on the road at Colorado Springs. Back in April, that was actually just a few days before these two sides met in the Open Cup, in what was a 2-1 victory for Switchbacks. TLC replay here as Arteaga looked to be a little bit shaken up as he went in for a header there.
That's one of those where, I mean, Ryden doesn't know he's coming, and Arteaga's really put his head down to head the ball. He just runs through it with his chest. It doesn't cause any damage, you know, but they are always called. Those ones, they are always called without fail, so it's what it is.
1-0 lead here for Phoenix Rising at the Lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here on the call. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is some Wednesday night USL Championship action. A little bit of rivalry action going on here in the midweek. Gallardo, first touch. Goes out for a goal kick. Both squads, Chris, as you mentioned, coming in winless in their last 4 matches. What a victory would do for either side here, especially going into the weekend. New Mexico will be hosting Switchbacks on Saturday night. We're right back here, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. It's Pride on the Pitch night. Foul called. Yes, Otto, free kick coming up. So off the set piece here, and Phoenix are dangerous off of set pieces.
You've got to look where the man Harvey is, right? Like, because the warning shot was in the first 3-4 minutes earlier on, last week as well. He always manages to lose his mark and find a little bit of space in and around the 6-yard box, so keep your eyes peeled there.
Armanakis for the delivery. Tambakis thought about it, but good awareness there from the Greek goalkeeper.
Look how hard Phoenix Rising are working in the press there as well. New Mexico United love to have possession of the ball, and Phoenix Rising just not giving them a second to settle on the ball there. And you can see everything's rushed, everything's hurried by New Mexico United, so they can't really get their head up. And you know, they want to throw in there, but you can just see again. Be interesting to see if Phoenix Rising can do this for the entire game because of the altitude, like we alluded to earlier. But working so hard, especially when they're defending from the front there.
Long ball sent from Rakovsky, finds Tambakis. And just looking at possession, New Mexico winning the battle so far, Chris, but it's not by much, 56 to about 44. Swartz connects with Moreno here. Moreno goes down. No call from the official. Here's Swartz again. Hamilton. Mexico just probing. Moreno now. Flag stays down. Cross is blocked, and it's going to lead to a Bank of America corner kick coming up here for New Mexico.
Moreno certainly involved in pretty much everything that is good for New Mexico United right now. Sergio Rivas early on was pulling some of the strings. We mentioned him earlier. He's a little bit quiet, but that's more, I think, to do with the shape and the discipline of Phoenix Rising. But Moreno's found himself in some lovely little pockets of space.
Here's Portillo. New Mexico looking to answer here before the half. Portillo sends this in, and it's immediately sent away there by Uzo. Gallardo looking to break. Hernandez. Trejo now has that taken off his feet. Here's Rivas. Finds Portillo. Into stoppage time we go. Brought to you by New Mexico Pinon Coffee. It's 4 minutes as Rivas, the header. No problem there for Rakovsky. So let's give that one more try there, Chris. 4 minutes of New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. It's the visitors in the lead. Danny Trejo on the score sheet here tonight. 31st minute. Armenakis picking up the assist. Armenakis, that's his second assist in the USL Championship this season. For Trejo, his 5th goal. So Trejo with 5 goals. Arteaga with 7, Chris. That's 12 of the 19 Phoenix Rising goals coming from those two. And that just speaks to how dangerous they are.
Yeah, and that's what, we spoke about earlier on in the broadcast. Well, just, again, how dynamic. Because the chance came from really nothing. The ball just found Armenakis on the right-hand side there, drifting in on his left foot and just picked out Trejo, and he did the rest. Great first touch. Amazing second touch just to settle himself, and then just popped it in the bottom corner.
Rivas assisted Daniel Bruce's goal last weekend here just a few days ago. Rivas now, he's been in very fine form, especially here at the lab here lately, Chris. 3 games straight, he's contributed to a goal. 2 goals, picking up the assist there in the last match. I know we touched on it earlier, he just looks a little bit more free.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, but again, the areas he's occupying now, there's just a lot of bodies in there. So it's really hard for him to be able to affect the game so much when he's...
Swartz heads this one back in, straight to Rakovsky. Sorry to cut you off there.
It's all good, mate. But yeah, no, it's, he's like double, triple. It's not like a double or triple team. There's so many bodies again. Like I said, the discipline in the midfield for Phoenix Rising, the 2 centre-backs, there's 4 guys for Phoenix occupying that space at the top of the 18-yard box, which is where Sergio Rivas is trying to pick up the ball. So it's really hard to orchestrate anything from there with that amount of pressure.
And so if you're Eric Quill, what do you do to try to break that down?
You got to try and find a way to allow Rivas to... I mean, he did his damage with the pass for Bruce's goal on Saturday where he was a little deeper. There is some space there either side of Armenakis. Maybe if he can drift into that space and just pick up the ball a little bit more, because that's how important he is for New Mexico United. If he's on the ball, good things tend to happen.
Garvanyan looking for Rivas with the through ball. Has that one picked out. Armenakis now. The Australian Panos Armenakis connects now with the goal scorer, Danny Trejo. Trejo, the former Las Vegas Lights man. Also spent some time with LAFC in the MLS. Made 3 appearances there. Fuenmayor will go all the way back to Rakovsky. Kofsky started his professional career early, Chris, back in 2011, actually. German goalkeeper, started off in the Bundesliga, and that's actually the first half whistle here at the Lab. Phoenix Rising on top, 1-0 by way of Danny Trejo striking in the 31st minute. Chris, real quick, your thoughts?
I think it's been a great half for Phoenix Rising, really disciplined, limited New Mexico United in terms of chances, and on the other side, New Mexico United will be really frustrated and lots to think about for the new head coach, Eric Quill.
It's halftime. The score, Phoenix 1, New Mexico 0, presented by First Financial Credit Union. We'll step aside. We'll be back with halftime.
Since 1966, BIOS has provided quality appliances, electronics, and mattresses to Albuquerque and New Mexico.
And from day one, we've done everything as a team. Our commitment to our team, our community, and innovation has allowed us to serve Albuquerque and our surrounding areas for more than 50 years. We are proud to partner with New Mexico United.
Because both of us believe in the values of loyalty, service, and togetherness.
Our longevity and growth is because we are united.
Somos unidos.
Flamenco is a language. Every step a verse, every movement a phrase. Born in Spain and expressed here in New Mexico.
Dime que sí, dime que no, anda dime primita de mi corazón.
The 2023 summer concert season is here at Sandia Resort and Casino. Join us this summer at Albuquerque's best concert venue for a season to remember. June 23rd, Ludacris. July 20th, Old Dominion. July 28th, Buddy Guy and Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Tickets available now at sandiacasino.com or the box office. The 2023 summer concert season at Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary.
Part desert, part mountain, part river. Albuquerque offers outdoor exhilaration you can't find anywhere else. Spend the perfect day hiking, biking, or even hot air ballooning, all within minutes of a vibrant city. Whether you're exploring hundreds of miles of trails or hundreds of years of history, Albuquerque will take your breath away. Start planning your Albuquerque adventure at visitabq.org.
Halftime here at the Lab in Albuquerque. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. And Chris, halftime brought to you by Smith's, fresh for everyone. And it's Phoenix Rising currently in the lead here ahead of New Mexico United. 1-0. Danny Trejo, 31st minute goal to open the scoring.
Yeah, and what a goal it was as well. Great first touch and really took it really calmly.
This is how things looked coming into tonight. The top 8 teams make the playoffs. These are your Western Conference standings. El Paso Locomotive, 12 straight matches unbeaten, and they are leading the pack there atop the West with 30 points. Phoenix Rising teetering on the playoff line in the final spot in 8th, and you see New Mexico outside of the playoff picture currently in 10th. New Mexico with a couple of big games coming up tonight, of course, against Phoenix, and then switchbacks on the weekend as we have a look here at our news and notes. It's been 8 days since New Mexico announced Eric Quill is the third head coach in New Mexico United history. His first match is just last weekend, a 2-2 draw against the Toros. Elsewhere, New Mexico will be hosting their Pride on the Pitch match Saturday as switchbacks make their way to town. And this one, really cool. Birmingham Legion announcing a new investor, NBA Hall of Famer Dominique Wilkins, joining the ownership group for the Legion. And again, Chris, we'd like to talk about how the league is growing, and this is just another sign. As we move right along to our upcoming schedule here, we already mentioned we'll be back here on Saturday, switchbacks in town. Elsewhere on Saturday, Phoenix traveling out to the Bay to take on Oakland Roots. And we have San Antonio taking on Sac Republic out at Heart Health Park. Next week, we have Oakland Roots hosting RGV. And then in a week and a half, New Mexico making the trip down to Southwest University Park to take on Locomotive. What is the second fixture for those two this season? And Lights will be hosting Tampa Bay Rowdies later that evening. The scoreboard here from around the league this last weekend. Switchbacks putting 2 past Las Vegas Lights. New Mexico playing out a 4-goal draw against the Toros. El Paso drawing with Tampa, and Roots playing 90 scoreless minutes with Riverhounds. Got the upcoming schedule here for New Mexico United. As we mentioned, Switchbacks here on Saturday at El Paso on the 1st of July. On July 4th, they'll be in Las Vegas taking on Lights. Then we're right back here on July 8th taking on Detroit City. And then Chris, try not to get too excited, but we are officially less than 1 month away from the international friendly against Sunderland.
It's impressive getting goosebumps when it's this hot, right?
Upcoming schedule here for Phoenix Rising. They too will be hitting the road on the weekend, traveling out to Oakland before returning back to 38th and Washington to take on Memphis 901, then traveling out to Miami. And they'll be hosting Switchbacks and then traveling out to SAC to close out July there. So wrapping things up here with the Week 15 Team of the Week. We see Justin Portillo getting the nod after his performance on the weekend against RGV, which also included a Goal of the Week nomination. Mark Hanich, your Player of the Week there from Charleston. That is presented by eFootball. We'll go ahead and step aside. 1-0, Phoenix Rising in the lead here at the half. Don't go anywhere.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Back here at the lab, halftime. New Mexico trailing Phoenix Rising 1-0. Danny Trejo, your goal scorer here in the 31st minute. Tyler Ortega joined by Chris Hurst. And Chris, let's go ahead and jump into our first half highlights brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. We're here for you, and we're here to win. And it started off early. Phoenix Rising with the first opportunity. Tambakis up to it, followed by this from Will Seymour, just trying to unlock the defense. And speaking of unlocking the defense, Danny Trejo with the only goal score so far.
Yeah, and just missed the first touch there, but his second touch just to settle in. It commits Tambakis, and Schwartz can't really do anything to defend it as well because of how good that touch is right there and just slots it in the bottom corner. Great finish by Trejo.
For Trejo, his 5th USL Championship goal on this season as he rebounds after having his penalty saved late on Saturday. Then Moreno looked like he was going to equalize here.
Yeah, Rakowski there, absolutely great save. Great little turn by Moreno, and you can see it's got eyes for the bottom corner. He gets down quickly and just pushes it around the post.
And New Mexico once again had another great opportunity. This time, the former Phoenix Rising man, Santi Moar, denied at the 6-yard box.
Yeah, and it came to him quick, and he had to take it early as well. You can see he's just rushed a little bit because of the defender there, and so he has to poke at it with his toe. And Rakowski again make himself big and pulls off the save.
So that's how the first half played out, and you know, Santi Moar would have loved to have scored that one, the former Phoenix Rising man. So this is first half stats for New Mexico, and this was something that Eric Quill said during his post-game press conference, that we want to dominate possession here and force the crosses, try to tire out the other teams.
And I would say that the first half was a case of 2 halves within that half as well, because early on Phoenix Rising had a lot of the ball. And New Mexico United, while they are dominating the ball, I'd say the areas of the field where they're dominating and where they have possession, Eric Quill would love that to be higher up the pitch.
Second half coming up here after this break as Phoenix Rising lead New Mexico 1-0 here at half.
National Roofing, serving New Mexico for over 45 years, from complete re-roofs to our 24/7 service department. Let us help protect and extend the life of your roof today. We work with you every step of the way to solve your roofing needs quickly and professionally. Our team of roofers are always on top of it, bringing high-quality commercial roofing to New Mexico homeowners. National Roofing, local company, national name. Call 505-883-3000 or go to nationalroofing.com to schedule a roof walk today.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
This is a story about creativity, education, entrepreneurship, and cookies.
Well, mostly about cookies. Want to try one?
Kristen, where'd you learn to bake?
My grandma was my first teacher. She told me it was okay to be creative and take risks.
Like what?
Like green chili cookies. I haven't quite cracked the code on those yet.
Bummer. Was it a risk to open a bakery?
Definitely. But CNM gave me the skills to turn that passion into a reality.
That's amazing. At CNM, it's one college, infinite possibilities.
Welcome back here to the lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst. Second half coming up here momentarily. Phoenix Rising in the lead 1-0 here at the break. And Phoenix, Chris, they're unbeaten in their last 55 USL Championship matches when leading at halftime. That includes 51 wins, 4 draws dating all the way back to October of 2018. How's that for a stat? So they'll look to keep that streak alive here, extend that to 56 as we are just under 90 seconds away from this second half. So Chris, take us through what the team talk was in the locker room for Juan Guerra and his Phoenix Rising side.
I think it's quite simple, right? It's more of the same. I say managed to keep New Mexico United. There's been a couple of sighters as we saw in the highlights. You know, Moreno, a couple of crosses into the box, but New Mexico United really have struggled to get going. So more of the same. The discipline and the energy that Phoenix Rising are defending with has made it very, very difficult for New Mexico United to get in any kind of rhythm and really cause any kind of sustained pressure.
And speaking of New Mexico United finding rhythm, Eric Quill looking to get his first result here tonight as the New Mexico United gaffer coached the team to a draw this last weekend. What does he have to do to not only break this 55-match streak that Phoenix is on when leading at the half, but also come away with 3 points here tonight?
So you're asking the easy questions.
That's why we pay you the big bucks, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd say obviously the stat shows New Mexico United had a lot of the ball. Unfortunately, the players that have had and have been involved in that possession, I would say would be, Ryden, Seymour, Garbanian, Schwartz, Moreno certainly, but more players more deep. Moreno maybe a little more attacking, and when they have had possession, just need a little more tempo, a little more energy with the ball. It's probably too easy for Phoenix Rising to stay in their shape and to remain disciplined. They're not really getting pulled out of their shape enough for New Mexico United to create any kind of chances. So I'd say, the word that Quill probably used at halftime was probably tempo, and really upping the tempo and really making Phoenix Rising have to work to defend this 1-goal lead.
Wind has really started to pick up here as the match has worn on. Looks like we are just about ready to go here. Phoenix in the center circle, ready to get us started. It's Arteaga alongside Armenakis. Again, thank you for joining us here this evening. We've got some rivalry action here in the midweek of Week 16 of USL Championship action. Second half underway here from Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here along for the ride. Moreno, New Mexico looking to start quick. Moreno loses possession. Hurst able to track it down. Finds Schwartz now, and the offside flag goes up. Actually, it looks like it's going to be a throw here. Here's Moreno. The El Salvadorian international, Armando Moreno, has made 10 caps for the El Salvadorian national team, yet to find the back of the net. Garvanyan. Garvanyan goes to ground. Good defending there from Gallardo.
Yeah, but you can already kind of see a little change in the mindset maybe of New Mexico. I wouldn't say, obviously I'm not saying that they were trying to play slowly in the first half, but it was just a little too comfortable, and you can just see every time anyone from New Mexico United gets the ball, they're looking to play forwards quickly, or they're looking to take space quickly. Everything is just elevated right now.
Crutzen, New Mexico pressing. Here's Portillo. Rain starting to fall here at the lab now. You mentioned the wind was really starting to pick up. You can now see the touchline down there. Juan Guerra putting his coat on. It's going to be interesting to see the way that this win now impacts the remainder of the match going forward here, Chris.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It looks like there's maybe some thunderstorms or dry storms coming through here, and the wind was in New Mexico United's face in the first half, and as soon as the second half has kicked off here, you can see the flags have changed direction, and it is in New Mexico United's face again. So they haven't had the luck with the weather gods there, but hopefully this passes, because it's been a beautiful evening, but it's it looks like it's getting a little ugly out there. The advertising boards are blowing down as well.
Moore's cross dealt with by Fuenmayor. Armenakis now able to come down with it, and Seymour commits the foul. He's going to get yellow carded. Seymour knew exactly what he was doing there.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing. He was worried that if he didn't make that tackle, that Phoenix Rising were off to the races, so no argument there.
You've been fouled. Paul Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. Parts brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. Swartz able to poke that one away from Trejo. Trejo going to be called for the foul. New Mexico restarts quickly.
It's been an interesting little battle. You mentioned it a couple of times in the first half. Trejo and Schwartz ended up on the ground together, so that's been a pretty physical battle out on that. The New Mexico United's right, Phoenix Rising's left side there, and you've got to say, obviously, Trejo's had the better of it so far with the goal, but yeah, it's a good little battle and really interesting to see that one.
Gallardo able to deal with that one in front of Garvagnan. Milo Garvagnan, a substitute in the first half, replacing the injured Josh Suggs. 24th minute. Here's Moar. Santi Moar not shy when he gets around the 18-yard box. This goes out to Swartz. Portillo now. Finds Moreno. The turn from Moreno. And Armando Moreno fires it home. El Sayahin has equalized here for New Mexico in the 51st minute. And the Lab is going crazy here, Chris.
You can see how far Armando Moreno has ran to celebrate with the New Mexico United fans. Can't see if it's someone specific down there, but he's ran the full width of the pitch as Mr. Renault, I believe it is. And very similar chance to the first half, the one that he created in the first half with that turn, and that shot just across the face of Rakowski, and this time he just couldn't get a hand to it, hit with so much power.
For Armando Moreno, that's his third goal of the USL Championship season, his 17th in black and yellow. And what a time for it to come as New Mexico have equalized here in the 51st minute. That goal brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years.
What a turn that is by Moreno. There's so much traffic there as well, and he's onto it so quickly. No time for Rakowski to react and get off his line and make himself big like what he did in the first half. And just absolute hit was again with so much power there. Didn't really have time to react.
And so again, Phoenix Rising riding a streak going all the way back to 2018, unbeaten when leading at half. New Mexico have equalized as we get a beautiful shot of the scenery surrounding us here at the Lab. Armanacas makes the turn. Trejo unable to control. Phoenix still probing. And going back to that goal for Armando Moreno, one thing we don't want to look past, that was actually the 30th assist of Justin Portillo's career in USL Championship play. So the Iceman scores against RGV, finds himself assisting a goal as Phoenix able to go ahead. It's Arteaga as he gets in between the center backs. And the look of despair from the New Mexico United defense as Phoenix with a quick answer to retake the lead.
It's one of the most used sayings. I don't know if it's all sports or just soccer. I don't know if this transcends other sports as well, but the most dangerous time is right after a goal, the 5 minutes right after a goal. And then New Mexico United just caught napping a little bit, getting caught up in the moment, and Phoenix Rising react in the absolutely perfect way there. to really quieten down this crowd again.
It took Phoenix Rising less than 2 minutes to find an answer for the New Mexico equalizer, and Phoenix back on top here at the Lab. And so for Arteaga, goal number 8 this season in 15 appearances. And you talk about someone that is in fine form. Garvagnan called for the foul.
Yeah, Tyler, and I make that the 7th time this season in 14 games. So half of the games for New Mexico United where they've conceded at least 2 goals. That's tough to get any kind of run of results going when you're leaking those kinds of goals.
And what are you seeing out there that's causing that?
Like I say, it just seems like little individual errors there. I believe, I didn't see what it was, but I believe New Mexico United just giving the ball away where they were in their playing shape and there wasn't enough time for them to maybe get back into their defensive shape, and Phoenix Rising just able to pick them off. But just lots of little individual errors are just causing, are resulting in goals right now. And when it's going against you, it goes against you. It really does.
And just a quick correction there on the goal scored. It was actually Panos Armanakis that scored the go-ahead goal, not Manuel Arteaga. And it was assisted by Danny Trejo. So Trejo and Armanakis doing the dance here with each other here tonight. Off the set piece, Seymour comes out to meet that one ahead of Alex Tambakis. And so officially on the game clock, 2 minutes and 40 seconds in between the equalizer and the go-ahead goal for Phoenix Rising. And it was Armanakis finding the back of the net. That was his second goal. Or excuse me, that was actually, that is his second goal of the USL Championship season. Goal and an assist tonight. Same for Danny Trejo. Long ball, Tambakis well out of his box there, Chris.
Yeah, it was really good goalkeeping because you could see Keelan Ryan, he thought he was going to be able to head the ball in, he just got caught underneath the flight of it. Tambakis recognised that so early, gets off his line, and he's a full 30 yards outside his 18-yard box. Sweeper keeper.
Here's Uzo. Uzo making his 12th appearance here tonight, the Nigerian. Moreno cuts this one out. Moreno picks that one up, and Moreno goes down. No foul. Trejo now looking to break. Through ball played forward. Armanakis, he's got a goal and an assist. Lays it off. And just in the nick of time, it's Justin Portillo.
The natives are starting to get restless here, right? New Mexico United fans letting the referee know exactly what they think about that no call. It does see, I would say as well, and it looks like he's getting a new whistle, insert joke here. But that did seem like Moreno was taken out first. I get that the tackle also got the ball as well. I couldn't see who it was for Phoenix Rising, but in my eyes, to my eye, it seemed like he went through the back of Moreno to get to the ball.
Bank of America corner kick coming up here. This is Gallardo. Gallardo out of Venezuela. This one headed away by Keelan Ryden. Manjoma being chased by Moreno. Crutzen now. Crutzen, that pass intercepted. Moar fouled by Carlos Harvey. And Harvey will be shown yellow. 59th minute yellow card here for Carlos Harvey. That brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. The rain really starting to come down here. So we still have just over half an hour, Chris. Conditions less than stellar out there on the pitch. Gallardo sends the cross in. Trejo. And he sends it wide.
He's saying about the conditions out there. I believe the bench for Phoenix Rising just blew over there. It is ugly. And it's these weird little like microbursts, whatever you call them, right? Where it's just the wind and rain comes out of nowhere and you can hear fans screaming and running for cover. But it's probably the warmest rain ever as well because it's still very warm out there tonight.
We'll see as this one goes over. Only one of the Phoenix Rising benches is currently up. Elsewhere, all the field signage is down as the wind is just absolutely ferocious out there right now. Monsoon season in the desert. Here's Swartz. Finds Garvagnan. Moar now. Can see just a little bit of a tweak here with Moar now occupying the outside and Garvagnan sort of playing more towards the top of the 18. They're really occupying the same space out wide when Garvagnan was first subbed on. There's Trejo, picked up by Swartz. Swartz able to win the free kick there.
Yeah, it was really good defending there by Harry Schwartz. Trejo was in full flight and he just stepped across his line, felt a little bit of contact on his back and went down to win the free kick for New Mexico United to be able to clear the danger.
We're going to see a substitution here with half an hour to go for New Mexico. It will be the Englishman Daniel Bruce coming on to replace Harry Swartz. That substitution brought to you by REDW, CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. Well, Chris, we saw Daniel Bruce make his 100th league appearance for New Mexico United on Saturday against RGV. Marked it with a goal. Being trot out here with half an hour left to see if he can turn the fortunes.
Yeah, and you could see immediately there was a change in the formation or the player placement.
Moreno, he's got options. Tried to thread it through to Bruce. Instead now, Phoenix will look to counter. Armanakas, the goal scorer. Great defensive work there from Will Seymour.
Really great defensive work. And did you see how hard Armando Moreno was working when he gave the ball away? He worked so hard to get back. But you saw Greg Hurst actually dropped into midfield. It looks like he's playing as a 10. Sergio Rivas drops back deeper, closer to Portillo. And Hamilton looks like he's moved out to the right side of defense as well. So little tweaks with Daniel Bruce spearheading the attack.
So Fiesta Auto free kick coming up here for New Mexico. Delivery goes in here off the set piece, and it's going to be a goal kick here for Rakovsky.
So it was interesting on that substitution there when originally the fourth official, he put up Santi Moa's number, but Santi Moa looked very confused and basically refused to go off the pitch, but I don't think it was because he was refusing to do that. It seemed that that was maybe a planned substitution, that all the players knew that at some point, if Daniel Bruce came on, Hurst knows to drop into the 10, Rivas knows, because like I say, the confusion was there, and I think the confusion was actually with the fourth official where he put up the wrong number, and all the players actually maybe expected that substitution coming at that time.
Backus looks to play this one long for Daniel Bruce. Instead, goes back to Rakovsky. And so it looks like they've just given up on the field signage altogether, Chris, and just laid it down at this point.
They didn't lay it down. I was watching it. It was falling one at a time. Mother Nature playing tricks on the poor staff down there, whose job it was to continue to pick them up. Where there was a guy in the blue polo going around picking them up, and he didn't realise behind him they were falling down again. So yeah, it certainly looks like they've given up on that now.
Blue ball looking for Arteaga, and it's Alex Tambakis coming out to grab that one. And this one falls to Armenakis. He's already scored here tonight, looking for his second assist. Galen Ryden heads that one out. The goal scored by Armenakis, his first for Phoenix Rising. Ball scooped forward for Garvanyan, and ultimately it's Monjoma sending it back to Rakovsky. Here's Gallardo now. Phoenix searching for a third. Armenakis plays it down for Trejo, and Trejo just sends it wide. As Arteaga was asking for it at the back post, it would have been a tap-in. Tambakis showing his frustration.
Yeah, you could see Phoenix Rising had the man over there with Trejo, and you could see he didn't. It's hard to tell whether that was a pass or a shot. You would think with the confidence of the goal that he scored in the first half, I was just waiting for the net to bulge there. It should have been 3 in all honesty. But if he was trying to cross it, Arteaga was asking for it at the back post as well. That was very unselfish by the forward as well, but yeah, it might have been better served going for that bottom corner like he did in the first half.
Substitution here for Phoenix. Renzo Zambrano enters the match as he replaces Jose Hernandez. Substitution brought to you by REDW, CPAs, and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. So you got a good shot of the flags there just moments ago. You could see exactly how windy it is out here at the lab. Trejo gives away possession here. Rivas finds Moreno. New Mexico looking for an equalizer. Bruce has that one cut out. Moreno lays it off. Hamilton went to put the cross in and have that one stuffed, and ultimately it's going to be a goal kick here for Patrick Rakovsky.
Yeah, but I think New Mexico United obviously disappointed giving away the second goal, especially so quickly after getting themselves back into the game. But territorially, you can tell that they're definitely asking more questions of Phoenix Rising compared to the first half. It's much more, the game is being played much more in the Phoenix Rising half, but you can just see how calm Phoenix Rising are on the ball, especially Rakovsky. I think that's the first time he's played a longer pass there, and that was because the centre-back played the ball back to him rather than him taking the goal kick in the first place.
Just over 20 minutes plus stoppage time remain here at the lab. Phoenix Rising on top of New Mexico United, 2-1. Goals from Danny Trejo and Manuel Arteaga have the visitors ahead. Zambrano, the substitute. Vanyan able to keep that one alive. First finds Garvanyan. And a challenge there from Hurst. That's going to be a corner.
A lovely little nutmeg there by Craig Hurst, just popped it through the legs. Great running by Garvanian on the left-hand side. Just got his cross a little bit wrong, but the reaction in those transition moments, winning the ball back high up the field. New Mexico United really making Phoenix Rising work hard to get the ball out.
Bank of America corner kick coming up here. Portillo sends this one in. Back post, Bruce. And he just sends it wide.
I tell you what, I don't think you would have got great odds of Daniel Bruce popping up at the back post to win a header there, but a little bit of a broken play. You say they played it into the front post and just got the flick a little bit wrong. Put an unbelievable amount of pace on it. I think it's actually the Phoenix Rising defender flicks it on rather than getting the purchase on to clear it. And it's Daniel Bruce, and I tell you what, he'd found some space at the back post.
New Mexico again coming out with a high press here. And Joma goes back to Crutzen. And the press paying off for the black and yellow. They're able to force a turnover. "70 minutes gone by here. '70th minute of this match brought to you by REDW, an Albuquerque-based CPA firm. Is Daniel Bruce on the move here. Finds Moreno. Moreno atop the 18, and it bounces away from Murkowski and cleaned up. Corner kick coming up here for the black and yellow.
Yeah, Santimora just caught on his heels a little bit there. Murkowski, that's probably his first mistake really in the entire game there. Just didn't get his footwork right and couldn't handle the ball cleanly and coughed it up to Santimora, and Santimora just wasn't really expecting it.
Bank of America corner kick coming up here. Portillo sends this one in, back post, bouncing around and cleared out. Vanyan going back the other way, able to get this one back to Tambakis. Phoenix coming up and asking some questions. Rivas battling with Fuenmayor. New Mexico looking to retake this quickly here. They do. Corner. This one whipped in, back post. Sam Hamilton tracks this one down. Bruce looks to play the cross in and finds Rakowski, and that's going to give us time to properly give you the 70th minute of this match, brought to you by REDW, an Albuquerque-based CPA firm celebrating 70 years of keeping New Mexico moving forward.
You can see that's the first time that New Mexico United have managed to get any kind of sustained pressure, and you could tell that they were feeling it as well, because Daniel Bruce didn't hesitate at all to get the ball down and play a quick corner. Don't allow Phoenix Rising to catch their breath. Looking a little bit leggy the last few minutes.
Here's Bruce, the Englishman, on his 101st league appearance for the black and yellow here tonight. He is the first player ever to do so in club history. Rivas looking to pick out Moar. Just a little too much on that one.
That's where Sergio Rivas just a little deeper. Now he's finding the ball in those little pockets there, and that's what he was able to do against RGV. Just a little higher up the field this time, and just gets that pass just a little too heavy. But Sergio Rivas has the kit, has the key, has the tools to be able to pick this lock.
Rivas riding a 3-match home streak of goal contributions. They're going to keep that one going here tonight. Moore. This ball taken off by Gallardo. Moore tracking all the way back, the cross played in, and that's no problem for Kalen Ryden. Here's Portillo. Picked up his 30th career assist on that goal scored earlier by Moreno. Possession squandered. There's Armanakis going back the other way. As mentioned earlier, scored his first goal for Phoenix Rising here tonight. Also assisted Danny Trejo. That is Danny Trejo. And sends that over the head of Gallardo.
Substitution brought to you by RUW, checking the match for New Mexico United. Number 72, Alex Wagner.
Couple of subs coming in here for New Mexico. And Chris, it looks like Coach Quill going to the reserves here for his forwards, bringing on Josh Dalling, Alex Wagner.
Yeah, and I think that Santi Moore is the second sub there for Josh Dolan there, and you could see that maybe Santi Moore knew that his race was run when Garvanian gave the ball away. Santi Moore absolutely legged it back and put everything into it, so he probably knew it was the last effort he had to put in and managed to help Kalen Ryden deal with that transition earlier, a few moments ago.
Hamilton plays this back. Dalling goes down. Moreno comes in to pick it right up. Here's Bruce in space. Not bad for a Wednesday night here, Chris. Tonight's official attendance, 7,864, brought to you by New Mexico Mutual. Phoenix Rising looking to avenge their Open Cup loss here just a couple months ago as Bruce called for the foul.
And I was just saying that Phoenix Rising a few minutes ago, they look a little leggy. Gallardo looks like he's dead on his feet, and it looks like maybe Phoenix Rising are looking to their bench as well to counter what New Mexico United have thrown on the pitch as well. And you see there Daniel Bruce, the crowd gets excited when he gets on the ball. It just didn't quite get his touch right there to be able to make the defender miss.
Ball laid off by Arteaga. Here's Harvey now. Scored in his last match, did Carlos Harvey. Scored his last time here at the lab as well. Now it looks like it is time to see those Phoenix subs here, Chris. So you're going to see Gabby Torres and Darnell King entering here for the visitors. Those substitutions brought to you by REDW, CPAs, and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. So Gabby Torres, the Brazilian 26-year-old former FC Tulsa man. Scored 3 goals, had 1 assist in 4 appearances for Rising last year after transferring in season from FC Tulsa. For Torres, he and his wife Maria actually just welcomed their 2nd child. So congratulations there. Darnell King also on the pitch. Typically the captain of this Phoenix Rising side. 31-year-old out of Tampa, Florida. Darnell King, not only, Chris, is he a main fixture in this Phoenix side, club captain, he also sells real estate in the Valley as a side hustle. There's not enough time in a day. That's what I always say. I don't know how he gets it done. That's incredible. Here's Hamilton. Plays this down for Moreno. New Mexico searching for the equalizer. 12 minutes plus stoppage left here. Cross goes in. Rakovsky all over that one. And Rakovsky, I mentioned earlier going into the half, started his professional career very early. In fact, he conceded his first professional goal to Robert Lewandowski and Jurgen Klopp's Borussia Dortmund side in Bundesliga play.
So you've been sitting on that stat all game, huh?
No comment. In his professional debut back in 2011, did Patrick Rakovsky for FC Nuremberg 2, the 4th tier of Germany. And this could see Phoenix through for an opportunity. And Tambakis with a massive save.
I think we've just seen the save of the night right there. He did everything to keep New Mexico United in the game. Sam Hamilton, I think it was the wind. It just got caught up, the ball in the wind, and he'd already committed to it, and it just couldn't quite get a foot to it. And Tambakis absolutely saved him there.
Wagner goes down inside the 18, and no call. You're right, the crowd chanting for Alex Tambakis after that save. Hamilton. Wagner now. Alex Wagner scored his first goal here at the Lab against Monterey Bay. That's his only goal of the season so far. His first professional goal, that is for the New Mexico United Academy product out of Taos, New Mexico. What a cool story Alex Wagner is, Chris.
Yeah, he used to play for a couple of local clubs as well, New Mexico Rush, Rio Rapids as well. I had the pleasure of coaching when he was 13, 14. He's played for Justin Sells here in town as well. And yeah, he's been a talent for many years, and it's great to see him on the pitch and doing his thing. You know, he had an important assist, I believe it was against RGV as well, so he's contributed pretty much every time he stepped on the pitch.
Wanyan laid that one off, looking to connect with Rivas, the two Albuquerque natives. Instead, here goes Darnell King. He's looking to pick out Danny Trejo's run. Less than 10 minutes plus stoppage to go here. Moreno. Bruce now. New Mexico looking to improve their home form here, Chris. Just 2 wins, a loss, and a couple of draws here at home so far this season. You know, with that's something that they talk about, you know, as a staff, wanting to give the fans the results that they deserve.
Yeah, I mean, their last home win was May 13th against Monterey Bay. You mentioned it earlier. Their last win was May 17th. It was the week following that, I believe, when they went to Loudoun United as well. So it's been a bit of a stretch here for New Mexico United. And like I said earlier, you know, when things are going against you, they really do go against you. So they need to just get back on that train of winning a game, however it needs to happen, whether it's the ugliest win ever, just to get back onto that side of things and then build from there.
Just going to make a weather joke, you know, when it rains it pours, but maybe I should leave that one out.
Thank you for not saying that. But then saying it.
Offside flag goes up here against Amano Moreno. So Fiesta Auto free kick coming up here for Phoenix. So for Phoenix, they're going to be hitting the road out to Oakland. Juan Guerra going to be taking on his former club. Throw in here for New Mexico. Substitution here for Phoenix. Babakar Jai will enter the match here. So he replaces Danny Trejo, the goal scorer. The first goal scorer of the night. 31st minute, Trejo finding the back of the net. His 5th USL Championship goal. It's going to give us time here to let you know that the USL on ESPN continues as the summer heats up. Memphis 901 and Aaron Malloy head to the Valley of the Sun to take on this Phoenix Rising side. It's Phoenix versus Memphis, Saturday, July 1st. It's a late one, 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. So United fans, if you're tuning in, watching New Mexico playing against El Paso next weekend, you can follow that up by flipping right on over to ESPN2 for that match, which is sure to be a good one. Garvanyan. Portillo now. And Joma is the first to get a touch. Falls to Hamilton. Flynn Mayor now. Can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app. Babakar Jai tracking this one down. He was shown a red the last time these two teams saw each other in Open Cup play. And that one, that red card coming before the halftime whistle. Corner kick coming up here for Phoenix. As they are content to just watch this clock continue to tick.
And this is great game management by Phoenix Rising as well. This is exactly the area of the field where they want to be to try and kill this game off. New Mexico United, you see once those subs came on, there was a little injection of energy, but that kind of seems like it's kind of worn off, and maybe struggling for some ideas on how they're going to get themselves back into the game. And again, Phoenix Rising pulling out every trick in the book right now to milk or kill as much time as possible.
There's Panos Armanakis riling up the 7,800 plus here that are on hand. As Phoenix look to bag all 3 points here at the Lab tonight. 87th minute. Into the 88th we go. So fans will have to wait for the return fixture for these two. That one not coming until late in the season. Not until October. There in the Valley. We're home for Phoenix Rising in downtown Phoenix off of 38th and Washington. Arteaga slides one home. It's the insurance goal for Rising, and they're going to be walking out of here with all 3 points tonight.
That's the guy that you did not want finding any kind of space in and around the 18-yard box. The turn, the finish, Tambakis, all he can do is just watch it pop into the bottom corner there.
Manuel Arteaga scores his 8th goal in his 15th appearance here tonight. And a statement victory for Phoenix Rising at the Lab.
And you can just see New Mexico United players, hands on their knees, they look dead on their feet towards the end of the game here. It's been an emotional 10 days, I'd say, right? And maybe that's just caught up with them a little bit, but they're going to have to pull themselves round and get ready for another huge game this weekend.
Moreno goes down, no foul called. Phoenix looking for a 4th. Zambrano has that one poked away by Sam Hamilton. So both teams, Chris, you mentioned it in the pre-match, coming in winless in their last 4 games. Phoenix will be breaking that streak tonight while it extends to 5 for the black and yellow.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned it right at the start of the broadcast about just the last 30 minutes that I watched of the game against Lou City, how dangerous and how dynamic Phoenix Rising looked when they were attacking, and we've seen examples of that tonight, especially in the 3 goals.
Venezuelan Manuel Arteaga, the 29-year-old, he scored on his birthday just 4 days ago against Lou City. Does it again here tonight at the Lab.
And you can tell how confident in a forward he is right now, where there was no hesitation, there was no extra touch. It was literally touch, turn, hit. And that was why Tambakis just had absolutely no time to get set and have any bid on the ball at all.
And you speak about the last 10 days for New Mexico as we enter now into second half stoppage. 3 minutes of New Mexico Piñon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of a Piñon. But Chris, for New Mexico, not really a whole lot of time to dwell on this as they're right back here in 3 more days against Switchbacks.
Yeah, and it's, another, I guess, rivalry game, right? It's all this little corridor here down the southwest. Obviously, during 2020, it was 2021. It seemed like we were playing Switchbacks and playing RGV and El Paso every other week, right? And there's those little rivalries have built up now, and yeah, there's no rest whatsoever. So Coach Quill has a big job in his hand to get everyone's heads up and get them ready and prepared and trust the process and get ready to go again on Saturday.
Here's Harvey. Arteaga once again. Kalen Ryden comes through to stop the brace. Arteaga goes down. Arteaga looks to be struggling here. Didn't exactly see what happened. And so, while the trainer has a look here at the Venezuelan, the focus turns to the weekend, Chris, as we mentioned, right back here. Saturday, 7 p.m., it's Pride on the Pitch night, as New Mexico United will be hosting Switchbacks. Tickets going fast for that one, so if you haven't yet, jump on to SeatGeek and get your tickets. Pride on the Pitch night, 7 p.m. Saturday. It's this coming Saturday, June 24th. This is the upcoming schedule here for New Mexico. So after that matchup here against Switchbacks, they'll hit the road. Couple of games away from the Lab, traveling down to Southwest University Park to take on Locomotive on Saturday the 1st. Then on July 4th, out in Las Vegas, taking on Lights before returning here to face Detroit City here at the Lab for the first time. That's going to be a lot of fun to call. And then speaking of a lot of fun to call, Chris, you and I will have the call for the international friendly against Sunderland.
I don't think I've ever been so nervous for a game in my life. We saw you be a fanboy today before the game, and that will be me on that game. So don't expect any kind of coherent sentences out of me whatsoever.
And Chris just alluding to some of the special guests that we had here tonight. Were in attendance. NFL Hall of Famers, Dallas Cowboy legends, Drew Pearson, Tony Dorsett, Washington legend, Darryl Green as well. It's incredible to be able to get to see them. We were able to talk to them a little bit about what we do here on a game day, and just incredible to be able to meet, sports personas like that.
Yeah, it really is. And, hearing how their expertise, obviously in football, in the NFL, and it just, they knew all about the game day experience and what it takes to, produce and be around a professional organization like this.
Arteaga climbing his way up the USL Championship Golden Boot charts as well. That's something to keep an eye on. Here's Rivas. 4 minutes into second half stoppage. Portillo lays this off. Portillo plays this in. Ryden gets ahead to it. Dalling has it deflected. And we're going to have a corner kick, Bank of America corner kick coming up here.
I tell you what, Dalling did really well. I think that was on target. That would have eyes for the top corner. And I couldn't see who it was from down here, the Phoenix Rising defender. It came off his back, but Dalling caught that so sweet. A little side volley, and it was going on target.
Bank of America corner kick comes in, and it just goes wide. We may be nearing the end of the action here tonight. And that is, in fact, the end of it. As the full-time whistle blows here at the Lab, Phoenix Rising victorious, snapping a four-match winless streak here with a 3-1 victory over New Mexico United.
Yeah, and you've got to say it was fully deserved. Absolutely clinical in the final third. Scored some great goals, all 3 goals. Very, very at the highest quality. New Mexico United probably had a lot of the ball, but just didn't quite have the cutting edge needed to see off Phoenix Rising.
Save of the match goes to Alex Tambakis for that monstrous save in the 80th minute. You called it right then and there. Brought to you by Invigorate Roofing. As Alex Tambakis getting the nod here tonight. Our man of the match goes to Armando Moreno, presented by Pepsi, scoring his 3rd goal of the season here this evening. His goal in the 51st minute, that unfortunately for him was canceled out just moments later by one of the Phoenix players, I believe it was Armanakis. And Bud Light play of the match, also Armando Moreno, for that goal that we saw scored there in the 51st minute. But it is Phoenix victorious here tonight at the Lab. We're going to step aside. We'll be back to put a bow on things. Tonight's Duke City Cares final score, Phoenix 3, New Mexico United 1.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
From day one, REDW has been an integral partner, the first companies to say yes to the crazy idea of this soccer team that we all love. Because of REDW's belief, support, and expert financial guidance, United is in a better place today. Their focus on community-first initiatives is perfectly aligned with United's ethos. When they say integrity counts, they mean it, and we are forever grateful and thrilled to be partnered with REDW.
When you get proven quality, fresh for everyone.
Full time here at the Lab. Phoenix Rising victorious 3-1 over New Mexico United. That is your Duke City Cares final score. Let's jump into our full-time highlights here, brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. And Chris started off early here, 31st minute, Danny Trejo opening up the scoring.
Yeah, first touch made it. First touch just takes Harry Schwartz out of the game, basically, where he can't make a bid on it, and draws Tambakis off his line. And you can see that first touch there, absolutely tremendous, and just slots it in the bottom corner. And that was a sign of things to come for the rest of the evening.
For Trejo, his 5th USL Championship goal on the season. And this for New Mexico in the 51st minute. It was Armando Moreno with a great turn and just fires home off the right foot.
Yeah, and like you say, he had a little chance like this in the first half, but that turn where he just, it's almost like an abbreviated Cruyff turn where he just flicks it, takes 3 Phoenix Rising defenders out of the game with 1 touch, and then smashes it in the bottom corner.
And for Phoenix, this Panos Armanakis scoring his first goal in a Rising kit, and what a time as Danny Trejo returns the favor from earlier.
Yeah, and it was a great finish for New Mexico United too soon after they got themselves back in the game. Didn't really have any time to settle into the game and put Phoenix under any kind of pressure.
Big save from Tambakis here in the 80th minute as it looked as though Gabby Torres was going to score after just coming in as a sub. Instead, the Greek keeper rises to the occasion. But just 8 minutes later, it was Manuel Arteaga who finds himself in space, Chris, just turns and fires.
Yeah, and that's a forward who is on form and full of confidence. Turn doesn't even really get his head up, just knows where he is on the pitch and fires before Tambakis can even get himself set.
That's how it played out here tonight. The 8th goal of the season for the talisman up top, Manuel Arteaga for Phoenix Rising. Let's have a look at our full-time stats before we get out of here. New Mexico did win the possession war, notching almost 60% here tonight, but it's what you do with it. Phoenix, equal on shots, 3 goals to 1.
Yeah, I think I said it right at the end, right? It was just clinical. That quality that Phoenix had in the final third, New Mexico United just couldn't match that on the evening. And again, possession, they had a lot of the ball, and it was a lot better, I think, in possession in the second half for New Mexico United. Caused more trouble for Phoenix than what they did in the first half, but ultimately couldn't find that cutting edge.
The attention turns to the weekend as Coach Quill still in search of his first 3 points at the helm of New Mexico, as New Mexico will be hosting Switchbacks here Saturday night. Kickoff at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Tickets still available on SeatGeek if you haven't got them yet. So that's going to do it for us tonight. Phoenix victorious. For everybody here tonight, that's part of our broadcast, our director, Gary Williams. For Chris Hurst on color, my name's Tyler Ortega. Thank you for watching.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.